You've noted that it's important for the arms of government to meet. They're not only independent, but interdependent. Speaking of one arm of the government, and briefly from both of you, because Parliament is set to resume this week on the 13th of February, a full entry for the members of Parliament, but of most concern is the Affordable Housing Bill 2023, which will be debated once Parliament resumes, and it will be seeking the reintroduction of that halted housing levy. Or was it not halted? Anyway, so Nyaribo, your take on the interest, especially that housing levy. What do you make of it? Was the grey area sorted? We heard from the Attorney General while he was meeting the House committees this week, mentioned that they sorted out that issue about the unconstitutional. What other issues should we look at?
Well, I think we were here with one of the members of Parliament who said they did a sample kind of approach. You know, they picked, I think statistics, he said they picked some people and they concluded now they have done proper public participation. There is a bill on public participation in Parliament, and it's yet to be implemented into law or enacted into law. But the issue, even within the parameters of the Constitution, public participation is to involve people, is to be all inclusive. So when they go back to Parliament, I'm sure they will give us a report on what they did, where they did the public participation. I don't know if they met my grandmother, my aunties and all that in the village, and my mother. If they didn't, definitely that part of the world will say, no, we didn't, because they say they did public participation in about 22 counties.
20 counties, yeah.
Yeah, how is that representative? Public participation means the public must be given, everyone who wants to attend. So you do notices, you tell them we shall be in town hall on this day, on that day. Even if you come 5, but at least they gave the notice. But you can't say we are going to choose 2 counties in Eastern and others here and there, and then that would be, I don't think that is proper public participation. So let's wait and see. But the point I wanted to bring in again and again is this is why, Jesse, we are saying Kenya Kwanza would implement a lot of these good policies if they can have an all-inclusive government. At least that is what is coming out clearly. And I saw the head of state praising Raila the other day so much, saying, oh, Raila is now agreeing with us. I think they should find a way to now talk and say, okay, fine, we are now past the, all these, fights about who won, who didn't. Because even this question of the 2 committees wanting to audit the last year's, the other year's election, it can be resolved by a simple sitting and a creation of a government of national unity. That way, the mood today that only 8-10 people in Kenya Kwanza are benefiting will dissipate. So I think, I strongly propose that the 2 should come together so that the citizens can calm down and go to work. In terms of visiting Japan and all that, Kenya has people all over the world. It's not because of Kenya Kwanza that we now have. It's not actually Kenya Kwanza or Azimio for that matter. Kenyans are enterprising people. And what is killing them is the extra taxes. That is it. They want to send so much money to the country, but the kind of taxes, now there's one for cats and another one for not rats. for chicken. So I tend to think that actually Kenyans are enterprising. They need to be given that opportunity to continue to be successful. But when you're trying to put, blockades and walls all over, I think that's where the problem is. Yes. Let us come together as a country and form a government of national unity, if you ask me.
As you finalize expectations on Bunge.
In my view, Murad did not vote for a government of national unity. So for Nyarubu to suggest a government of national unity,
a big no,
in my view, that is, then we shouldn't even have an election. Number 2, I'm not sure that the National Assembly has passed that law to tax rats. I don't know. I remember at some stage a former Minister for Finance said, look for rats wherever they are and consume them. So I don't know whether it's going to be taxed as a rodent or as a delicacy. But for the National Assembly, this is where now public participation matters. Instead of the members of, especially Azimio, going to the funerals and weddings and issuing threats, let them engage in intellectual conversations at the National Assembly. Because, a number of them in the Senate and even the National Assembly, actually they boycott some sessions. So when Murai elected them to office, he expects them to go to the National Assembly or Senate and engage in very solid conversations. And for them to stop crying that tunaomba serikali, and they don't realize that they're actually in government. They're the ones who come up with the budgets. They're the ones who allocate resources. So Murai's got a very valid expectation that the National Assembly and Senate will serve Murai's interest. So let them, I don't know whether you were around then, but there are times when you had James Orengo at the National Assembly, when you had Martin Shikuku, George Anyona, when people you actually would listen to the National Assembly, and at the end of the session, you are knowledgeable. But today at some stage when you are following proceedings, there are some names which you cannot name here, but you need an energy drink. You need to get a coffee for you to go through the process. Yeah, okay. We look forward to conversations anchored on Murai's interest, but more important, focus on Murai's interests. You know, economic diplomacy. Then Nyaribo says that Kenyans have been going out. Of course they have, but when an administration comes and gives you an enabling environment, then it becomes more exciting.
Okay, well noted, gentlemen. So, any of you football fans, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, as we finalize, just to break the water, you know?
I don't think, well, I'm not much of a man when it comes to soccer, so I understand there's a tournament going on tonight.
Not your cup of tea.
That's my cup of tea.
So, gentlemen, thank you